Hi there, these comments are for A. I'm just using your name initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael, the founder, the owner, and the materials writer of all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You completed independent writing practice test number 38. And you are also one of my students in the English language program at California State University, San Bernardino. So you took 32 minutes to develop your response. You had 2 hours, so you finished in plenty of time. In fact, you finished in about 1 hour and 30 minutes. You had 1.5 hours more time left over when you finished this particular essay. Now, I went ahead and I just read it, and I'm going to give you a score right now. I put your score into the 2 range, 2.75 out of 5, 18 points out of 30. Now, for the purposes of our class, this is going to put you at 73% according to page 4 of our syllabus. Right, now let's go back to the rubrics, and then we'll take a look at your essay in a little more detail. So I put you in the 2 range because you have limited development of ideas as they relate to the topic. You have, I think, inadequate organization or connection of ideas. You have an inappropriate or lack of details, examples, and explanations to support your generalizations. And you have some problems with word choice or word forms, and you have some errors in your sentence structure. So let's take a look at your essay. Now, one of the things that makes it, I think, not as organized as you could get it is right in the beginning here in your thesis. You have, in my opinion, we have, it is reasonable for sports professionals to get paid lots of money. And probably get rid of all of these, and then you can say this. Famous athletes and entertainers have a great impact on our social life and make a big contribution to our society and hence deserve high salary. So it looks like right here, this is pretty much a fairly specific thesis, right? So you raise expectations. When you create a sentence like this, the expectations are that you will hit these ideas in your body paragraphs. So you have, they are hardworking persons in order to get a good result. They sometimes risk their lives and health. Their training is very hard that causes physical injury, pain, and even have to be hospitalized for recovery. Persistence makes them good experts. In competition, they face the best talents. There are too many ideas in here, and because once you bring up an idea, you have to provide maybe 3 or 4 sentences which help explain that. To me, your topic here is there are hardworking persons in order to get good results. So you talk about how they work hard. But then you move on to they sometimes risk their lives. And then you talk about persistence and so on. So you're not really developing an idea with enough detail to show. It's what's called progression of ideas. You talk about things in a very general sense, but not in a very detailed sense. And in the beginning here, your thesis says they have a great impact on our social life, and then they also make a big contribution. So in your next paragraph, you have entertainment plays an essential role in our everyday life. Most of the people need to relax. So how does that go back to this idea? They make a big contribution. Now, if you want to follow your thesis, you'll say, first of all, these famous athletes and entertainers, they have a very big impact on our social lives. That's the topic sentence here based on your thesis. And then you give examples. You give specific names of people who are athletes, who are entertainers, and show the cause-effect relationship between these people and then our social lives. Now when you get to the next one, you'll say, second of all, these famous athletes and entertainers make a big contribution to our society and hence deserve high salaries. But that's kind of what you said before, right? So maybe you have to rewrite your thesis based on what you've done here, but remember that this paragraph has too many different ideas. So here's really where you're having some trouble. You need to create a more sharply focused thesis first, and then it's easier for you to create those topics in those body paragraphs. Okay, let's take a look at one of your paragraphs. I'm going to do some correction here. So, second, entertainment plays an essential role in our everyday. I don't even think you have to say apostrophe S, just say everyday life. Instead, most people need to relax. I would say here, by watching TV with their favorite TV stars or favorite football players. Entertainment is one of the best ways to eliminate stress or tension. It's kind of the same thing, so it's a little bit wordy. So you can say entertainment's one of the best ways to eliminate tension and leave all troubles behind. For example, people cannot stay home all day long without watching TV. So basically, people believe that famous athletes and entertainers have such high salaries because they need them. They're like doctors for our minds and souls. Scientists say that people usually spend the same amount of money. I'm going to say spend the same amount of money on their food and entertainment. All right, so my advice is here, you really need to try to organize ideas a little bit better and then develop your points more. You do that by being more focused. Going back to the writing section, there are some lessons I think you can review in order to improve your organization. So first of all, let's take a look at, I think, lesson number 4, creating sharply focused thesis statements for independent writing task. I think that is a really good lesson for you right now. Also, lesson 4.1, a simple, direct approach to answering TOEFL IBT independent writing tasks. I think that's going to be important. Now, another one, I think lesson number 8. Actually, go to lesson 7.1, take a look at that. And then lesson 8, how to make your writing more coherent. And that'll give you some great tips on how to organize your writing. So you also notice when you go back to your independent writing practice test, you will see a sample response that models how you can answer this type of question. So I strongly advise you to go back and take a look at that model. Remember, when you go back to Independent Writing Practice Test 38, you want to click on Review. And when you scroll down, you'll see my comments, of course, but you'll also see a model essay showing you how you could have answered this particular question. All right, so anyway, my final recommendation is, because your writing is a little bit basic, you need a lot of improvement right now, practice. And what you can do is between now and the midterm and the final writing practice test in this class, I encourage you to do some additional practice tests. Maybe 4 or 5 writing practice tests. You can complete them online at my website. Don't forget to send me an email, and I will make sure that my TA scores those in a timely manner. So I think if you do some practice before the final exam, in this class, you can probably solve some of those organizational and development issues that you have, and you get more used to the expectations for this kind of writing at the college level. All right?